I've been very fortunate to learn under Coach Acuff, to learn all this stuff. I didn't know it coming in. I've been in UAH for going into my 8th year. He was my boss for the first 6 of those, and getting to learn from him every day and learn all this stuff was a great opportunity for me, and I can't thank him enough for that. Um, Now, I will also say this: it doesn't really matter what you do, and I'm going to take you through what we do, and I think it's unbelievable, and I think it's great. But it doesn't matter what you do if you're not bought in and if it's not your identity. This stuff is our identity, and I'll talk more about that. Um, and I'll say this too: this quote was probably one of the biggest quotes from Coach Acuff that I learned about this stuff, because a lot of people do try to do what we do, and I mean, it's not our stuff. All coaching is stealing. You're taking stuff and putting it together and doing your own thing. But a lot of people try to do what we do, and we play against it in our own league. But what we try to do is we try to make sure that our pace is better than everybody else's. If you're doing stuff at a high pace and you're unselfish and you're sharing the ball, it really doesn't matter what you do. It's going to be hard to guard. But this quote from Coach Acuff was really good, and he said they can prepare for what we do, but they can't prepare for the pace we do it at. And that leads kind of into the next slide, if I can get to it. The first bullet right there. Number one most used word in a UAH practice is pace. It's pace, and there's not a close second. Coach Acuff obviously took the job at Lipscomb going into last year, and Coach Schulman came in, and he's been awesome. And he's been awesome to work for, and we ran the same stuff. And that word was still the most commonly used word in our practices. Pace, pace, pace. It's all we're yelling, especially like the first 30 minutes of practice for us. And we're working on offensive stuff, shooting, cutting, shooting out of offense. And we're talking about pace all the time. You gotta be going as hard as you can. And if our pace is really good in game, we can get to multiple concepts in a possession. We feel pretty confident that this stuff will get us a good shot. Now, getting into how we teach it. Now, I'm going to try to get this out of here real quick. Hang on. Okay. Going into how we teach it. So we do a drill when we're putting it in called 4 corners, and I'll show. I've got diagrams of it on the next slide, but I want to talk about it real quick. You start wing, wing, corner, corner. So we'll go to the next slide real quick so you can see that, and we'll go back. All right. That's how the drill starts. You see the big O over there on the right. That's the guy with the ball. Okay. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about lifting the ball. Okay. And when we lift it, all right, we are talking, red, red, red. Your language has to be everything. You've got to speak. You've got to talk. All 5 guys got to sprint up. When we sprint up, 5 guys above the foul line. That's how we know we're in this and we're in our alignment. Okay. 5 guys above the foul line. You got 2 guys in the guard spots, 2 on the wings, and your 5 man's under the ball. All right. Ball side elbow. Okay. So here's the drill. You start here. Okay. Then you lift it. So he's going to bounce it up. And this is about the volleyball line right here. So you got these 2 guys on the same plane, these 2 free throw line extended, and your 5 on the ball side elbow. Okay. That to us is when we are in red, which is our Princeton default actions. Okay. So I think that's important to understand because it all stems from that. This is our alignment. We know when we get to this that we're getting into our stuff. So when a possession flatlines, and we'll see some clips of it, when a possession flatlines, whoever has the ball, he's lifting that thing up, and we're getting into the next action, and we're getting to this alignment, and we're going. I think that it starts with that. So we do that with our young guys, and that'll be all we do to start. Like we'll get there, we'll lift it. All right, good. Rotate. All 4 perimeter guys are the same for us, that's why there's a 5 and then there's a bunch of O's. They're all the same. All right. So we say lift it, they say red, they bounce it up, and then we stop it. Once we got that, then we move to the next thing. Okay. And I know it seems very elementary, but I'm just telling you, getting this part down is the key, because once we get into games and they get further along in their careers, this is where offense starts. So if we get flatlined, this is how we get back to doing what we do, if that makes sense. All right. Now, the choice, which to us is arguably the most important terminology to understand. Guys have to know who the choice is. And I'm going to explain who the choice is right here. All right. So we just lifted the ball. All right. We got 2 guards up. When we make that guard-to-guard pass like we're in chin, and he goes off the back screen, the receiver of that guard-to-guard pass is now the choice. And this is huge terminology for us. Everybody has to know who the choice is. All right. And once you're the choice, the reason we call it that is because you have options. All right. And I'll show you this. Here's a clip. All right. So we're getting into red. All right. He needs to get down, but we're in the general alignment. We make the guard-to-guard pass. Number 0 right here is the choice. He has options now. And I'll talk about this back screen in a second, but guard-to-guard pass, we're getting out to that opposite corner. All right. The receiver of that pass is the choice. He can choose whether to go chin, whether to go rub, whether to go reel. And I'll go through this stuff, but these are all of our options. All right. Now, in this instance, he's going to go chin. Catches it, moves it on. And we're chin. You got the chin back screen right there. All right. Next clip. Number 0 is the choice again. We just had the guard-to-guard pass. He's gone. 0 gets to decide what to do. He doesn't go chin this time. He's going to take it, enter it into rub, and we're playing there. Okay. Now this time, we are in red. Okay. We got in our alignment. 25's a little late getting down there. He inbounded the ball. Guard-to-guard pass, right? He's gone. Now 33 is, we call it reel, all right? 33 has the choice. He could go chin, could go rub, could go over, but he's going to go reel right here. Okay, and then we're playing off of that. So the choice guy for us decides what action we're getting to, and once he decides, he's the boss. We are flowing from there. Okay, I think that's really, really, really important to understand. We can't move forward in this with our young guys until they understand that. The choice is the dictator of what happens next. Okay, I cannot overstate that. That's so important. All right. So now we got the choice down. Now we can kind of flow from there. Okay. Let's talk chin back screen. Okay. You got your guard-to-guard pass. Now, most teams set it. We stopped setting it at the end of the year, and I thought it helped us. But I think it's good if you want to do it. It's a preference thing. All right. You guard-to-guard pass. The passer takes off to win the race to the rim. He can go front side or back side of the screen, ball side or back side, either one. He has to read it and run his guy off the screen. All right. 5-man steps up to screen, nothing illegal, just get in his way. All right. Choice moves the ball to the wing. Wing keeps that ball right on his right ear or left ear, whichever side he's on, and he's ready to throw that thing because he's going to catch that thing. He's got to be ready to see it. All right. He reads the help. You got to know who's helping, and that's why IQ is so important in this. You got to see stuff quick. And that's why redshirting is so important. It all ties in. And you can post off of this. We'll look at it real quick right here. Okay, here's an example of the chin back screen. All right, we're in it. Guard-to-guard pass. 0 is the choice. Moves it on. Back screen. Okay. 13 right here is going to win the race, sets up his cut, does a really good job. 25, our 5-man, just gets in the way. It's good enough. Okay. Watch 13 win the race. We work on finishing a lot. We do a thing called finishing school that I think is really good. All right. Now let's shift your focus. And there's a lot going on here, I know. Shift your focus to 33. Watch him throw this pass. Ball is right over his ear. And I know everybody teaches the triple threat position, but where that ball's under your chin. But right here for us, when we're looking at this, that ball's got to be right there so he can whip that thing in there, or else he's not going to have time to make the pass. Okay, got another clip coming up of it. All right, we're in red, and I know you guys probably know this stuff, but I'm just going to talk through every possession so you guys can get a feel for what we're seeing and what we're teaching. All right, we're in red, guard to guard pass. You got your choice. He moves it on to chin. 13, winning the race to the rim. Okay, now one thing that we needed to correct on this clip, and this is important too, number 12 back here. All right, he's too low. We need everybody above the foul line, because if he's too low, that makes it easier for his man to help. All right, if he's higher, that dude's got a decision to make. Again, work on finishing a lot. Can't make layups. It's a really hard game.
Anthony, we got a question about counters. So if you see a specific defensive coverage with chin, do you guys run any kind of counters out of that?
Oh, absolutely. Which really with this back screen right here, if it's not there, and we, again, like I said, we stop setting it, like he's getting out. We just want to get to the next action quick. And I'll show, and that'll tie into the next concept we get to, the drift. But yeah, we'll do a bunch of stuff out of that. Like right here, I don't know if this is a counter, it's an action we'll get to out of it. If like number 5's postable, that's a great way to get the ball in the post to a postable player. All right. So he's going off this back screen and he stops on the block. You already got the ball in the wing right there. You throw it in the post. Like that's been good to us, especially when that's our 4-man. Our 4-man is usually our most postable guy. I hope that answered your question, and you'll kind of see more kind of it tie together as we go. And again, feel free, and that was a great question. Feel free to stop me because I'm not seeing the chats on here. So again, feel free to stop me. All right, chin drift. So guard to guard pass, went off the back screen. We moved the ball to the wing. All right, now the chin drift for us is probably our most used concept in our offense. To us, it's a really good way to get downhill. It's a good way to penalize good defense, like defenders that jump to the ball and all that. And you'll see right here. But let's look at a clip and I'll walk you through it. All right, so we're going red. We're in chin. He moves the ball to the wing. Not there. Okay, 25's not looking at him. It's not there. We're going to move on. All right. Start with a 5-man right here. Get your tail across the nail. That's what we tell them. Okay, get your tail across the nail and set this drift screen. But we tell these guys the first day we put it in, nothing illegal. Anything illegal's on you. Get in his way as much as possible. If you just get in his way, they're going to have some kind of coverage. He's going to shift his feet. Something's going to happen. All right, just get in his way. We tell him screen over, not up. All right, we don't want to get out here and start setting weird angle screens. Like we want butt to the sideline, screen over, screen it low, make him make a decision whether to go over or under. All right, so that's your 5-man. Okay, 13's getting to the corner. 12 has to stay lifted right now. All right, now the drifter. Okay, formerly known as the choice. He moves it on. Got the back screen going. Okay. He's standing briefly, starting to move his feet laterally and downhill as soon as the ball sees him. He can't go too soon. When 25 looks at him, that's when he's starting to go. We call it a go and catch, so he can get downhill and drive it, but he's going to either have to go and catch, he's going to catch and shoot, or we call it a shot stop, shot fake, and drive it to the wide side. All right. In this clip, he shoots it. All right. So you watch his feet, and we work on footwork non-stop in practice. We do breakdown work on chin drift shots, chin drift drives every single day at the beginning of practice. All right. So here we go. We'll start the clip over. Okay. Moves it on. We're in chin. Feet moving. Working into a shot. Great feet. Knocks it in. And that's a shot we work on all the time. All right. We're in red. Moves it on. The choice moves it on. Chin. Moving his feet downhill. And I know a lot of Princeton teams use the check cut there. We have found for us that getting downhill right here is a lot easier when we're not moving backwards. Like, we want to be going that way. We don't want to be going backwards. And I think it's a harder shot if you're moving backwards too. A lot of people have had success doing it the other way. This is just the way we've done it. Okay, and we tell our guys, be shot ready there. If they go under that thing, you got to shoot it. All right, we're in red. 22 is the choice. Moves it to 33. 25 screens over, not up, and just gets in his way. Nothing illegal. 22, watch his feet. Working into it. His feet are going laterally and downhill. All right, here we go. We're in red. We're in chin. Okay. Feet moving laterally and downhill. 13 right here. All right, now let's talk about this. This is huge for us. Okay. On the drive, and we work on this every day. We work on these reads every day. On the drive, if you're going to drive it, in the 5 pops, the next guy has to burn, or we call it a burn. Okay. We're clearing out the stunt because we tell 13, if he doesn't have a layup here, he's playing behind. Okay. Unless he can drive and kick it ahead. But a lot of times we're playing behind more often than not. And that goes back to where are we going where are we supposed to be when the ball is driven? We work on it all the time. Chin, moves it on. Drifting. He goes over, we're ready to drive it. Okay, really important here. This guy, when we're driving it at you, we tell our guys, when the ball is being driven at you, get away from it. Okay, so he needs to be getting to the corner, which we call the stretch. All right, that's the stretch for us. So he needs to be getting to the corner. Make him make a decision. All right, and and you'll see the drills. Drive and kick. We do it every day. It's the first thing we do. But we're getting downhill. 35 pops, which means 22 is supposed to burn here. A little late, but he does it. Okay. We're in chin. Okay, moving laterally and downhill. Feet are moving. We're getting ready we want to be aggressive. We want to be downhill. Really nice little hesitation right there, especially if they're going to help with X5. They've got to treat it like a ball screen coverage. He helps, he evaporates. So we work on this too when we work on these drives. Okay, when we're doing this, we say, all right, we're going drive, hesitate, drive. Okay, and we tell them, drive it, get downhill. We call it a stride stop or a jump stop. Land on 2 always. We're not going off of 1. Play behind if the drive and kick ahead is not there. Chin, back screen, choice, moves it on, drift. 21 does a great job. He's a really good player. Does a great job right here screening, but nothing illegal. Downhill, drives it. I'm telling you guys, we get more off of this than anything else we do, and we have a lot of stuff in. All right, here we go. Chin, drift, and then 21 rolls or dives. All right, so if he dives, 25 has to get behind. And this stuff, and I'm just gonna be honest, this stuff right here about him having to get behind when he dives and everybody being where they're supposed to be when the ball's driven, that's more important to us than any of this other stuff. Now, this stuff is what we do. It's our system, and it's really important. But our guys knowing where to go when the ball's driven and knowing how to play is the most important thing. So he rolls, dives, he's getting behind. We call that Canada.
Anthony, another quick question. What's the philosophy of the burn coming from the weak side during the drive if the big is popping out?
It takes away the stunt. So it would, let me go back to that clip. Let me find it. I think it was this one. All right. So if we drive this and 3 doesn't shoot it. Now, I don't think 33 was going to do much anyway because he's just kind of staring at the ball. But if 3 plays behind a 35 right here and 15 helped and 35's open, at least the good defensive teams that we played against, 33 right here would be stunning. And he'd be either stopping a shot or stopping a drive if 22 stayed. But if 22 burns and gets out, then we play behind. There's no stunt. So 35 is either going to have a shot or he's going to have a drive and kick to 0 because the next guy's going to have to make a decision. Does that make sense?
Yep, he's got it.
Okay. And we work on that a lot, and it takes our guys a while to get that because I know it's a little different than what a lot of people do. Well, there's plenty more clips of that too, and we'll keep talking about it. All right, here we go. We're in chin. Moves it on. Okay, got the drift coming. Good screen here. We got a dive and a Canada. Dive, Canada. You always got to have someone play behind. And there's a lot of clips of the chin drift stuff because it is really, really important to what we do. All right, here we go. Chin, drift. Got the good screen right there. He's screening over, not up. He's just getting in his way. That's all you got to do. You don't have to hammer him. Okay, and that's where it comes with just being a high IQ guy. He's reading the help. All right, great dive by 35. Great job by 25 getting up. And then this guy right here is in jail. What's he going to do? And again, that's all this stuff is doing. All this system is doing for us is just hopefully putting guys in position to make the right decision to get a great shot. And we make plenty of wrong decisions, but 0 made the right one here. High IQ guys. All right, here we go. Chin. Back screen there, pretty good. Screen over, not up. We're drifting, feet are moving downhill. Drive and kick. Every single day. Right here. We start the drill 2-on-0. Ball starts here. Other offensive player starts here. Free throw line extended. We drive it and kick it early. And we do that every day. I know it's basic, but it's what we do. And we tell our guys all the time, don't get bored with the basics. There's a reason they're the basics. Okay, here we go. We're in chin. Looking at the drift. Not ready for it. Drive and kick. We tell those guys kick early. Like a lot of good defensive teams, they really show early and then they kind of get back to their guy. All right, if he's moving towards you, Get that thing out of your hand and throw a strike. That was well done there. Okay, here, chin. Moving on. And here's what I was talking about, how you can penalize a good defensive team. And the coach at CBU, John Riley, is an unbelievable defensive coach. He's really good, and he's going to get that thing going over there in Memphis once he gets his guys in there. But he's a really good coach. And what this kid's doing is, it's what we teach our guys to do. When they move the ball and you're guarding the ball, you got to jump to the ball. But against this, if you jump to the ball and you're moving that way and 25's moving this way, so we're getting an advantage, which is why I said that running this stuff penalizes good defense. And we're downhill. Now, 21 dives. 25 did what we asked him to do and stride stopped, landed on 2, and looked behind. And it took us a long time to get our guys to see that, to land on 2 and look behind. But once they did, we started getting great shots. All right. Fragmented floor right here. And that's when you get really good, is when your guys know how to fix it. Okay. So here we go. They're talking. We're in chin. Move it on. Drift. And there's your burn. Okay. See that? So let's start the clip over. Sorry for skipping. All right. Moving on. Chin. We drive it. 5-man pops. 13 burns. And then there's no one there. I mean, a lot of times you'll just get that layup because his man's ball watching. All right, here we go. We're in chin. Now 13, this is probably the best clip of that I can show of how to get ready for the drift. All right, watch 13 here. Watch what he does. He's probably a little high, could be a hair lower, but watch his feet and watch how he gets ready to get downhill on that catch. I think this is what makes our chin drift different than other people's. I mean, he's ready to go. His feet are moving downhill, and he's taking advantage of our advantage. Okay, 35 does a good job getting in the way. He draws 2. We play behind. He pops. If he pops, that means he's burning. And this clip will answer your question about why the burn. He's gone, which moves the help. Now 0 shouldn't have come up, but he drives it, plays behind, and then the ball's just talking. All right. Let's look at that one again, because that's a really good example of why you burn. All right, here we go. Red, chin, drift, Canada, burn, get the help out of there. Really wish 0 would have stayed stretched here, but he didn't. It's never going to be perfect. Drives it, stride stop, play behind, play basketball. And I mean, the ball going in or not going in doesn't tell you whether it was good offense, but like we showed our guys that clip later or the next day, and we praised them for that. That was an unbelievable possession. All right, here we go. We're in chin. Got the drift. Okay. Drive it downhill. Stride stop. 10 with the good burn here. Play behind to 21. Okay. Drives it. Scores it. Okay. I'll stop there if anyone has any questions on that, because I know there was kind of a lot going on.
Guys, go ahead. If you have a question for Anthony, go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question right now. If not, then he'll just keep rolling.
Okay. Next thing.
In the chat, Anthony, we got one question came in the chat. What do you do if the defense overplays and you can't make the drift pass?
Great question. You're about to see it. Okay. Great question. All right. So this is what we call the snake. Okay. And I'll explain it while we're on the slide so you guys can see the slide, because I know some people are taking pictures of it or whatever. Chin snake. Defender takes off the pass to the drift. Okay. The drifter is going to keep going the way he was going. Obviously, he doesn't have the ball, in tight curl right behind the 5. The 5's still setting that drift screen. Okay. Finish your cut. Get your head under the rim. Passer's going to look late because we got to read the help. All right. Now we'll talk about options in a second. Let's look at this. This is really good stuff, especially if you got guys that can make this pass. All right. So we're in chin. Move it on. All right. Back screen, not there. Drift. Overplays it. Okay. Not there. Tight curl. Look late. Okay. Let's look at that again, because there's a lot going on. All right. Moves it on. Okay. Really important that if you don't get this pass off the back screen, get out to the corner. You guys helping. He's got to go. All right. Now, if you see, and you're the drifter who is about to become the snake, if you see that your feet are ahead of your defender's feet and he goes way over that, you are winning the race to the rim. Get your head under that rim and settle in, because it'll be there. And then all the passer has to do there is read the help. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. All right, here we go. We're in chin. Drift. And you can get it even when they don't go over it. Hopefully that answers your question there. Okay, here we go. Chin. Okay. And this is really good against teams that like to get up, take this pass off, be really aggressive. And you got to use their aggressiveness to your advantage. So spread them out, go chin, tight curl, and then let the passer make the decision. Who's helping? Is X5 helping? Is this defender helping? And again, breakdown drills every day of this stuff. All right. Working on this pass, because it's not an easy pass to make. All right, chin. Snake. Okay, now X5 helped. That's why it helps to have a 5-man that can shoot. He doesn't make this shot, but he was a decent shooter. Okay. X5 helps. Good. I think it's a hard action to guard, especially with pace. And again, it all comes back to pace. Again, going over. Now the opposite wing's defender helps. Skip it. Shoot it. And that's why it's so important for 12 right here to stay high and not sink to the corner. Snake, great cut. Really good. So we tell our guys when we work on cutting, you're either cutting to score. You're cutting for 2 reasons: score or create help. We harp on that a lot. You're cutting to score or create help. 0 cut to create help there. All right. Now options if neither one of those is there. Okay. 5-man, flash to the ball side elbow. Okay. And this is the easiest thing for us to do. It's been good to us. We call it the jungle. 5-man, flash to the ball side elbow. We hit him. Okay. And then we got options: hand cut, back cut, down screen. Okay. Those are really the 3 things. We have a million counters off of that we can do. We can play opposite. We can set a flare screen. We do a lot of that stuff. But really, when we do this stuff, we work on our cutting. We talk about cutting a lot with this. So here we go. We're in chin. All right. 25's way too far out, but that's fine. Okay. So we didn't get the snake. Watch 13. No snake. He's going to get out. back cut, we call that a bear, and a fill up. And this is a 3-man action that we will do in practice every day. 3-on-0. All right. Here we don't see the chin before it, but here we are in jungle. Now, we talk a lot about our cutting and our feet. So when we work on cutting every day, we tell them the analogy of, imagine you're standing on a clock. All right. So you know where 2 o'clock is, you know where 10 o'clock is. All right. Whichever way you're going to cut, whether it's hand cut, back cut, you're going to step the opposite way first. So if I'm going to hand cut, I'm going to step to 10 and go to 2. All right. And it helps our freshmen to really understand it. All right. I know it's kind of simple and dumb, but it works for us. So we hit the jungle. If I'm going to back cut, all right, I'm going to step to 2 and go to 10. Anything you can do to freeze your defender and give you that much separation. So here we go, hand cut. Freezes him. He's gone. He's done. Sit behind. We work on hand cut threes an awful lot, guys. I think it's a hard shot, but if you work on it, you can get good at it. Okay, chin, snake, nothing there. Jungle. Okay, we call that a deer. Here's the option to down screen. So you saw a back cut, you saw a hand cut, and now you see a deer. Okay, now he's going to go under or curl usually, or he can go over. We call this a pop back, and that's just playing. Okay, we went chin, we're in jungle. Okay, and we call this Ohio. We play opposite. It's been really good to us. Okay, we don't want to play to this side. 30's getting ready to make his cut. He sees we're going Ohio. One of us probably yelled it. 5-man plays to the opposite side. This dude gets caught falling asleep. You get a lot of hand cut threes here. We get a ton off of that. And Mike, let me know if I need to speed this up because I know we've been going for a while now.
You're good.
Okay. All right. Here's another example right here. We go chin. Nothing. Drift. Snake. He's getting out. All right. So now our alignment, corner, corner, wing, wing, 5 at the elbow. We hit jungle, Ohio, hand cut. But hopefully you guys are starting to understand like the importance of our language and how everything we do has a name. Chin. And that's why I'm talking out the language every single time so you guys can kind of see that. Okay, drift, not there. We're going to snake. He's getting out. He almost went the wrong way. It's never going to be perfect. All right. Now here's the drill we talked about, the 4 corners drill. We've got 4 guys or 5 guys foul line and below. We're going to lift it again. Now we're chin again. Jungle. Deer. Down screen. Just how many actions can you get to? Get to the next layer. Get to the next layer. All right. Another option out of chin, if you don't like the jungles, P high. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't hit the snake. 5-man flashes to the top of the key. Okay. Hit the 5. You're true 5 out. You got corners and wings filled. 5-man with the ball at the top. He can play either way. Dribble at. You got hand cut, back cut. And the same thing with the cuts. 10 and 2 analogy really helps those young guys. Snake, step out, P high, dribble at, watch this cut. See that first foot? 25 right here. He's going to step to 2 and go to 10. It's really hard to guard when you get to that alignment. There's nowhere to help from. Okay, chin, snake, not there. P high, dribble at. Great cut. Here we go, chin, snake, he's out. Okay, we're in P high. Back cut. Okay, we work on this all the time. We call them, when we say fill-ups, let's work on fill-ups. We got 5 at the top of the ball, or whoever at the top of the ball. Okay, 3 on O, dribble at, back cut. We'll have a coach hitting that guy. And then we got a fill-up, corner guy, fill up to the wing, ready to shoot it. He doesn't shoot this, he drives it, makes a good play.
Anthony, when you're doing your breakdown drills, are you doing those 3 on O? Do you have a guided defense, a live defense? What does it look like?
We don't usually have a defense in there when we're doing the breakdown stuff. 3 on O, 2 on O. Every single action we can try to get to. A lot of 3 on O though, and it's everything. It's the chin drift. So say we're working on chin drifts, and we're gonna go. We hit. We're gonna drift. Throw it to him. The first round we shoot it. Okay. Next round we throw it to the drift. He drives it, plays behind to the 5 for a shot, and we have a coach standing where he drove it to hit the burn. So we're usually getting 2 shots with everything, but you're getting 2 shots out of a 3 on O drill right there. And you're working on your cutting, you're working on shooting, you're working on driving the ball, you're working on landing on 2. And that's every single day. It's a great question. Okay, then you got your hand cut, pretty self-explanatory there. P high, hand cut, and that kid can really shoot it. Chin, snake, not there, P high. And there's your hand cut again.
Anthony, another question from the chat,
Okay.
talking about the X5 defender. The defensive type of player that he is, if it's a mobile guy who can really move versus a guy who's maybe not as athletic or mobile, do you adjust what actions you do based on the ability of that X5 defender?
100%. Most of our five men are mobile, because like we'll play a 3-man or a 4-man in there as our 5, which isn't always great for us on the other end, but it helps us offensively. But we'll do some stuff like if we think that X5 if he's a big plotting guy, he's a big low post guy, we don't think he can stay in front of our 5-man. Well, we have some counters that we'll do where we'll drive it, we'll clear out a side and drive it out of rub. You could even drive it out of P high if you can't stay in front of him. We do that with our 4-man a lot. But yes, absolutely. And that's why I think this stuff's so good, because you have your skeleton, but you can also make very quick adjustments and say, hey, let's look for this because this guy can't guard this. And you can do it on the fly. All right. And there's hand cut, dive. You had your fill up behind. Chin, snake, not there. Hand cut. All right, here we go. Now here's your pop and burn rule. All right, and it applies to everything. It doesn't just apply to chin drift. All right, hand cut, and watch 12's cut here. Steps to 10, goes to 2. Boom. Good. All right. Now 5-man's gonna pop. Good defender right here is gonna stunt, but he doesn't see the burn because he popped. See that? Let's look at it again. Chin. Back screen. Snake. P high. Hand cut. Drive it. Pop. Burn.
Anthony, another question coming out of the chat. What if you were going to teach this to a middle school, high school team, group of kids, what would you start with first? What action would you focus on right out of the gate? What would you want them to be good at as the baseline, action?
Uh, I'll say this: the way we teach it was we start with chin, and we well, first of all, we'd start with figuring out how to get to the alignment. So we'd start in that four corners drill. We'd lift it, get 5 guys above the foul line, and go from there. Then we make that guard to guard pass, and we'd work on chin. And once you could have your whole offense be chin uh, and jungle, or chin and P high. Like, I think you could do a lot out of both of those. And we have a ton of special plays out of jungle and P high and out of chin. But I would start with chin and then add from there if you want to add. Absolutely. It's a great question.
Thanks.
All right. Now and I think you guys are starting probably understanding what I'm doing now. So we'll talk about rub one. Okay, and we should be able to move a little faster now. All right, so now we're in red. And for us right here, the floor is a little distorted. It was off a miss. Okay, so now we got to fix it. We got to get to our alignment. Here we go, guard to guard. So 12 is the choice. All right. So far in this presentation, he's been choosing to go chin, move it on and go chin. Well, now he's going to choose to go rub. Rub, bring it to the 5-man off the bounce, middle of the floor, enter it, usually a bounce pass. Those air passes there are really hard to catch. All right. As that ball's in the air, 33 is where he was supposed to be, but when that ball's in the air to the 5, he's got to drop to the corner quickly. All right? Because he's got to stay up to be our outlet over there until we throw it. All right, he's getting down. All right. So here we go, rub one. And we tell these guys under or curl 9 times out of 10. And this is an unbelievable cut by 33 right here. Watch his feet again. It's all in your feet. So rub one, he's sprinting to screen. And it's called rub one because he's playing at 1. Okay, sprint over the 5. Undercut, great job. Okay, here we go. Now, here's the choice. Choosing to go to rub. All right. Sprint over the 5, sprint to screen. Okay, work on this a lot. I mean, breakdown drill, 3-on-0 right here. Every day, rub one. Okay, rub one breakdown. You got your 5-man, and it looks like this. So imagine this clip if the choice, the 5, and the cutter, the receiver of this screen, are the only 3 guys on the court. Okay, so we would sprint to screen, breakdown, 3-on-0. He's going to go under. We have a coach throwing the under for a layup. All right, and then 0's going to pop back for a 3. Like, that's an example of a drill we would do out of rub one.
Anthony, another question from the chat. When a team denies your choice guy and the ball side wing, what are the counters?
Okay, there are a few things you can do. All right, we call it real, which is later on, and I know we're running short on time, and that's why this stuff it can be as in depth as you want to be in. Where if you take it to the 5-man and he's denied, dribble at the next guy and back cut him. Okay, one of those 2 guys is going to be open. Then you got to fill up that should be open. Or you step up and ball screen it. That's very simple. Because if the 5's denied, that means X5 is on top of him. So if X5 is on top of him, the offensive 5 should be able to step up and screen. There shouldn't be a ball screen coverage, if that makes sense. But there are quite a few counters you can do. Those are our 2 most common ones. But there's rub one. You got a curl right there. So we tell these guys you can go over, under, or curl, but we want an under or curl 9 times out of 10. All right. But that's all pretty self-explanatory there. And I'm going to move on if that's good with you guys there. Okay. And then there's your pop back. So it's that 3-on-0 drill I just talked about. Sprint to screen, great cut, hard under, finish your cut, pop back, because a lot of times both these guys will go with the cutter, be ready to shoot it. We work on pop back threes every single day. And I know you've heard me say that about every action we've done, but we do work on this stuff every day. And that's what I was saying earlier, is it's a huge commitment, and you've got to be willing to, this has to be your identity if you're going to do it. Great cut, pop back, and then you pop back. If you don't have a shot, you can drive it. We love to refuse ball screens. So this is a really good clip here, but you play your ball screen rules there. Okay. Same thing. We'll move on. And then this is a clip of him going over, just so you see it. It's pretty hard to guard. All right. And then last thing about rub one I want you guys to see. All right. And like I said, out of jungle, when we play opposite, it's really good to us. It's the same way with rub one. So we can go rub one Ohio. Rub one, great cut, great job. 21 wants to play the other way. And I mean, you can pretty much get this shot whenever you want. Like that, unless this dude is an elite defender, it's really hard for him to guard that hand cut. Playing opposite has really been really good to us. One more clip of that. And then it's normal ball screen rules for us. You got your burn, you got your dive and your Canada, or your pop and your burn. Actually, here's a really good example of it. All right, we went rub one. Ohio, burn, pop, and that's why you got to get that guy out of there. Because if he doesn't burn, this guy's going to stunt, and he's going to kind of stall this whole thing. Okay.
Anthony, another question. Do you give the five the freedom to play opposite himself, or is that always a call?
Yes, it's not always a call. We do call it a good bit. But yes, we give them the freedom. We tell our 5 men, and I think it's true, that they're our point guard in the half court. 1 through 4 is really the same, but the 5 man kind of dictates where everything goes, dictates the actions by where he is on the floor. So we tell our guys when they're trying to figure out how to get back on track if we're out of alignment, we say, this is what you think in your head. Where's the ball? Where's the 5? Where's the ball? Where's the 5? And the 5 man's got to be a high IQ guy. But yes, we do give them the option. All right, real quick, another part of rub ones, and I know this is a lot. We call them Bamas and zeros. Okay, sprinting to screen, but also reading your guy. Okay, if he goes under and doesn't chase you over this, be ready to stop directly behind the 5 for a 3. Okay, pretty simple concept, but it's one a lot of people don't think about. We call it a Bama because it stands for behind. Okay, here we go. All right, and now you got your counter to a Bama, which is a 0. So we call it 0 because you got rub 1, rub 2, rub 3. That would be 0. It's the next number. But he doesn't go under it, so he wouldn't sit behind here, but he sees that he's chasing him. So he tight curls it to the rim. there's nowhere to help from because it's an unbalanced floor. And our fives can lob it or dump it low. We started lobbing it this year, and it was pretty good to us. And again, that's a read. Can be a call, but most of the time is a read. Okay, and then sure, if it's not there, we keep telling our guys, get to the next action. Okay, don't beg for anything. It's not there, next action. So with the 5-man, if it's not there, he can play to 25 or he can play to 0. Just play the next guy. Play basketball there. Okay, any questions there on rub 1?
Nope, I think we're good on that one.
Okay, rub 3, just the opposite of rub 1. We'll run through it. And again, tell me if I'm getting short on time, and we'll roll. And if anybody wants anything, has any more questions, especially more specific stuff that I probably can't say on here, feel free to reach out to me directly. My email address is on our website. You have my Twitter handle from Mike's tweets. Follow me, I'll follow you back, DM me. We can link up. I'd be happy to talk to you. None of this stuff is a secret for us. As you can see, there's so much stuff. It's really hard to, I wouldn't want to guard it. I know that. So we tell our guys, if your pace is really good, it's going to be hard to guard. So anything you guys need, anything, feel free to reach out. I'd be glad to help. All right, rub 3. Okay, we went rub 1 before. Now we're screening away. Okay, so we played at 1. Now there's 3 on this side. We're playing to 3. Okay, and again, same rules apply with the cutting. You got to have a great cut. Your feet got to be on the clock. All right, we tell you over, under, curl. All right, and 5-man's just reading the help. Now this is a great cut by number 3. He's a fast twitch kid, so he got a bunch of those. Rub 3, great cut. No corner help. That's an easy one. So it's just it's rub 1, just the opposite direction. Rub 3, great cut. And these pop backs, we work on them all the time. Again, so here's your 3-on-0 drill. All right. So imagine this. Imagine 0, 35, and 25 are the only 3 guys on the court. It's 3-on-0. Bring it to them, enter it, screen away. We have a coach with a ball right next to the 5-man on the other side of him. He's going to hit 25 on this undercut, and the 5-man is going to hit 0 on the pop back. And there's your drill. Here we go. Rub 3, great cut, pop back, shot. But you got to get your guys to buy in to being great cutters. Great cutters they're hard to find. Really good cut. All right, and then under's not there, pop back 3's not there. You're setting the ball screen. Okay, and then you're just playing your ball screen rules. Really good pass. Nice job there. All right, we're getting into red. Okay, 0's the choice. He looks at chin, doesn't move it on. He's going to take it to rub. Curl, pop back, ball screen, drives it. And then once you get into that action, you're just playing basketball. Rub 3, great undercut. Okay, I love to refuse ball screens. Now 25 is a little too high. I'd like for him to be stretched in the deep corner here. So that's something we would talk about in film. Okay, refuses ball screen. Pop. 33 doesn't, he's supposed to burn, but he doesn't here. It's not going to be perfect, but there's your, I mean, that's another breakdown drill. All right. So hang on. Here's a breakdown drill. Rub 3. Here's your 2-on-0. Rub 3, pop back, hit. 5-man, go sprint to screen. Okay. Refuse the ball screen. Stride stop, play behind, 5 pop, shot. So there's your 2-on-0 drill right there. But what's fun about this stuff is when you do it, like you as a coach, planning practice is so fun because you can just come up with literally anything out of these actions. Any 2-man or 3-man action out of this stuff, you're like, oh man, that'd be a good drill. Let's do it. That's what makes it fun. Planning practice is awesome. Not a great cut by 33, but we're going rub 3 here. I think he must be tired. Okay, now this, and I'm sure this was going to be a question someone was going to ask because it was a question I asked when I first learned this. If the pop back is denied, dribble at. All right, so we'll think in terms of the cutter first. All right, so 13 sprints to screen away, he pops back. Okay, so now we're going to look at him. Is he going to be open? All right, he's not open. Good. 5-man, dribble at him. 13, stand. Okay, relax. Let your defender relax. All right, and now that the 5-man's dribbling at him, he can go hand cut or back cut, just like jungle, just like P-high. It's any dribble at. All right, and you're using your cutting rules, your clock rules. All right, so he goes hand cut here. Again, pop, 0 should have burned. He didn't, but we score off of it. So hopefully that makes sense to where if the pop back's not open, you guys understand what our kind of our bailout is. Here's another one. Okay, didn't pop back great. He's denied. We're dribbling at him. Hand cut. Now pop, which means 25's burning. Behind, that's denied. Back cut. Okay, this stuff works best against teams that are really aggressive with you. Hang on, sorry. All right, here we go. Rub 3, under, pop back, denied, hand cut, play behind, pop, burn, burn again. And this was late in the year as we were starting to kind of get a little better at it. Okay, and then you got your over option. Now, we tell our guys, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but we tell our guys in rub 3 not to sprint to the ball, but to sit behind, because the only time you would ever go over this screen is if he's sitting basically in the paint. So sit behind, screener, change your angle as 13 does right here, and we'll get a shot there. So that's your counter to that. If they don't let you, if they just sink and they're like, okay, he's coming to me. Well, all right, go over there. Hope that makes sense. Rub 3. Great, undercut. And then you got your Ohio option. All right, and there's a million things you can do off of this. And I know it's a lot. I'm just trying to show you what we do. All right, under, okay, we play Ohio, hand cut, dive, Canada. Okay, choice, rub, 3, curl, Ohio, watch, Ohio, hand cut, dive, drives it, scores it. I love Ohio's. Okay, and now here's when your 5-man can really pass. This is where you get dangerous. All right. Okay, so teams are like, okay, we got this now. These 2 guys can switch it, and if anything gets crazy, he'll muddy it up because he'll just stand on the block. All right. So we call it rub 3 skip. And that our 5-man can really pass. I wish he shot it a little better. That would have been good. But does everybody see that? I think that's a good counter too for when teams start doing that. We'll move on because I want to show you guys the and if anybody has questions about rub 2, we can go over it. Just real quick. Rub 2 is just right down the middle of the paint. All right, so you got rub 1, rub 3, rub 2 is going to be a basket cut. Okay, real quick. Good. Bring it to him. We're in rub. Okay, go rub 2. Basket cut, not there. Come out ball side, corner, screens in, dribble handoff. Dive, play behind. All right, and that's something that has a little more complexity to it that we added relatively recently. So that's not something I would put in as a complete base, but it's a good action. I think we have an Ohio coming up. Rub 2. All right. So again, you have an Ohio option. And again, what I want you guys to understand is that our language bleeds into every action that we have. All right, so we've had an Ohio option out of jungle, rub 1, rub 3, and now rub 2. We've had a hand cut option out of all those, a back cut option, a fill up. So language bleeds into everything we do. And that's why it's so important that we teach our guys how to play as opposed to plays. And I think this offense teaches them how to play. All right, rub 2. Okay, we're looking that way. We're going to play Ohio here. Great cut by 13. Hand cut, drives it. 35 pops. 0 has to burn. See that again. And then we'll stop. We'll move on to the next thing. Rub 2, Ohio, hand cut, pop, burn. Okay. All right. Now this answers the previous question of what to do when you can't get it to the 5 and you can't throw it to the wing. All right, and we'll talk through it as we go because it's easier to just explain it as we watch it. All right. So say 5's denied. Okay. 33 is the choice here. 12 just passed the ball. 33 is the choice. Say 5's denied and we can't move it onto chin. We bring it to him. It's not there. All right. We call it real. All he does is change direction, dribble at 0's defender. He back cuts. So there's your counter. Right there. All right. Okay, let's see this. Fragmented floor, we figure it out. We're back in red. 0's the choice. Can't get it here. 25's denied. This is a great example. Okay. Big time denial here. We love that. So 0's going to bring it to the middle of the floor, change direction, dribble at, back cut, right there. So that's a big time counter. All right. Now, what if the back cut's not open, which it usually will not be? Back cut, fill up. So again, a fill up applies. It's the same language, and we work on these all the time. We work on 3-on-0. Number 3 brings it to the middle, changes direction, dribble at, back cut, fill up. So he'll throw the back cut, and we'll have a coach up here that'll throw the fill up. And then we get a lot of post ups off of that. So if you have a postable player, stop same side, post up on the block. Great way to get it in the post. And that kid can really score it down there. So we run this a lot for him. Now, the next question I'm sure that I would ask, that I'm sure someone's going to ask, is what happens when you fill up, don't throw it in the post? What happens here? It turns into a chin drift. So as simple as I can say it, turns into a chin drift. We call it a real drift. We work on it. Okay. And if he doesn't get this ball, which he's going to snake, and it just turns right back into a drift. Same exact action, just a different concept. Real, not there, drift, throw it, shot. Here it is again, dribble at, real, back cut, fill up, drift, drive it, Canada, play behind, shot, right there. Then your next option, if you can't get it there, if you're the choice, okay, so now zero's the choice, and he can't get it there, or he doesn't want to get it there. And this is why 12 has to stay high. We call it over. Very simple. So you dribble over the 5, hit the wing, back screen him into the post. And this is, again, not something you have to have in. It's just something that's been good to us because a lot of our perimeters are postable. And it's a bailout if we can't get it there. So here's another option. Dribble at, can't get it there for some reason. Rub over. And again, if anybody wants this PowerPoint where it kind of explains this stuff, email me, text me, call me, DM me. I don't care. I'd be willing to help in any way I can. I'll send it right over. And last thing, we talked about counters. Point, which is just a step up ball screen. Hang on. Okay. 12 is the choice. All right. Say this is denied. This was a call because we like this matchup here. But say 12 or say the 5's denied. Okay. We call it point because look what 12's doing. He's pointing at the ground. Okay. Just a step up ball screen. All right. And I think that's an easier way. That's an easier counter that you probably don't have to teach a whole lot. Okay. Here it is again. And then your pop, burn, dive rules all apply. Okay. So that is I say generic. I know we've been talking for an hour and a half. That is the base of what we do.